I wanted to show you all something. That is the tattoo that I wear on my back. Now, the reason why I felt the need to share this with you is because of some things that people have asked me from time to time, relating specifically to my username, and trying to explain it. It's kind of hard to explain because it has multiple meanings to me. And the origin of the name itself is actually really simple, where it comes from, but the motivation behind it, or to keep it, is a little bit more complicated than that. But the reason why I wanted to show you that was just to show you that it's a very large part of my life. The tattoo takes up my entire back, as you can see. It was a tattoo that I wanted to get for a long time, so what I wanted to do was to tell you the story of how I came about actually ending up with it. When I was about 15 years old, my mother took me to a shaman to have my totem read for me. Now, basically, it sounds really fancy, but it's sort of a Native American-y tarot kind of thing, where the shaman had an animal deck, and basically spread the cards out in front of me face down, and told me to draw. I think it was like six of the cards, the ones that attracted me. So I grabbed the six cards and I pulled them in front of me, and he moved the rest of the cards away and then proceeded to, one by one, turn the cards over and put them in the spread where they belonged. And for those of you that don't know what a card spread is when it comes to tarot or card reading, it's specifically a design that the cards are laid on the table, and each card represents something. In this particular case, these different cards were different aspects of my life, from when I was younger to the future when I got older. Plus, my spirit, my earth spirit, my spirit guide, and my mother spirit and father spirit, and all of that stuff. And Raven turned out to be my spirit guide, the card that was turned over. So, because of that, I sort of adapted that icon as, I guess you would call it a foci, something that I directed my energy at, because I didn't quite understand my connection with the things around me. My life has always been rather complicated and convoluted. I've had a lot of really wacky things happen, and I've never fit in. So for me, it was a chance to actually have something that would help me define who I was, considering I never really understood myself. And I still really don't. But it was something to actually hold on to and say, okay, this is a part of me. I can use this to help me guide myself into the direction that I was going to be. For those of you that don't know anything about spirit animals or animal guides, basically in the Native American lore, animals represent different aspects of behavior, different aspects of action. As an example, where a dog would be loyal and tenacious and dedicated. I don't really want to get too in depth into what Raven means, simply because it's something really personal to me. But I'm sure if you look around on the internet, you can find some websites that will explain the different aspects of the different spirit guides and spirit animals, and you can get an idea. You're going to find that there are a lot of different websites out there that have different explanations, but some of the definitions tend to be similar enough that there's consistency in all of them. When I was, as I said, so I turned, 15, 16, and there was this blue-black bird, this black-blue bird on this card. And my mother says to me, when she sees the card, she says, well, now I understand. And I said, what do you mean? She says, well, you're always wearing black. Now I know why. When I was younger, and for a large portion of my life, I only wanted black clothing. It wasn't an extension of my, my deep melancholy, or, I was trying to make a statement. I just had, for some reason, that I still, to this day, can't explain, I had to have black clothing. It had to be black. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't trying to make a point. It was what I needed to wear. And I took a lot of shit for it in school, believe me, more than a person should. But like I said, as I got older, I knew that I wanted to do something. I wanted to honor this spirit guide in some way, and I got an idea in my head that I wanted to get a back tattoo, a full back tattoo of a raven. that was, in my mind, that was my way of honoring the spirit. You know, I don't really see anything that I do in my life as an act that I feel truly honors the idea of what Raven encapsulates to me. So I thought if I would wear Raven on my body, then no matter where I went, no matter what I did, I took a part of myself and dedicated it to this concept. So I had the idea of wanting to have this tattoo from when I was around 16. Then when years went by and I kept thinking, oh, I'll get it someday, I'll get it someday. But I never really thought I would because tattoos are painful. You know, in my mind, that was the whole thing. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And one day, I said, okay, I got my first tattoo, which is on my right arm, which is a chaos symbol, which is a story for another time. For those of you who don't know what a chaos symbol is, it's basically it's an 8-point star. If you were to take the cardinal directions and then the mid directions, you know, northeast, southeast, northwest, and southwest. That's the symbol for chaos. It's an 8-point star. I got that, and it wasn't that bad. So I said, okay, since I'm getting tattoos, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna mean something to me. I'm gonna do it. So I went around and I asked a bunch of different artists that I knew, draw me a raven. This raven is going to be something that I'm going to turn into a tattoo. And I asked 20 or 30 different artists because I knew a lot, and none of them, not one of them, produced a drawing. And I asked them, Tommy, can you draw this for me? Can you draw this for me? Not one of them would. Well, at the time, I was dating this girl, long-distance relationship, who was living in Colorado. Her name, what was her name? I can't remember her name for the life of me. She was pretty out of her head, but she was an artist. She was working in school to be a medical illustrator. The people that actually draw the internal organs and the drawings that go into medical books that show the actual internal organs and stuff. That was what she wanted to do. And she was going to school and learning all of the stuff that a doctor needed to know to be able to name all the bones and the ligaments and whatnot. Well, I told her that this is what I wanted to do, and she went out of her way. She went and she found some ravens and she studied them, and she made me a painting, not a drawing. She painted this picture for me, and it was almost a relief because the paint was thick, and it was big, so she had to scan it bit by bit and put it together in a picture and send it to me. So as soon as I got it, I sent it to my tattoo artist and said, "This is what I want on my back," and he turned it into what you see in the picture, what you saw in the picture. So she didn't believe me. She swore up and down, "Oh, whatever, I've been told before, da 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 da." So I went and I got the main part of the tattoo, which was the outline. It took about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and wasn't exactly the most friendly feeling in the world. And then I ended up going out to Colorado a couple months later and showed her, and she was totally blown away that I would actually, take her art and put it on my body like that. But the whole point of this rambling vlog was just simply to show you that there is more to it than simply just a nickname to me. There's a purpose to it, and I think that for those of you that can understand the concept, it is part of my motivation for being who I am. What it represents to me, what Raven is to me, is what I strive to be. I've moved away from the Native American perspective because I've had it made abundantly clear to me that I thought that because I'm half Cherokee, I thought that I would have some sort of undiscovered connection with the native people. That once I actually went out and I talked to a native person or got involved in the native community, that I would see that this is my people and this is where I truly belong. But the little bit of interaction that I had with them, I saw that their way of life, or the way of their thinking, I would never fit in. I like to think that it's their it's their traditions and it's their way of living, but I think that I wouldn't be able to fit in well. Let's just put it that way. My way of thinking and the way that they live wouldn't mesh well. So having that reality shown to me that I wasn't going to be native, I didn't have some sort of inherent connection. It was simply just a matter of blood type. That my philosophy on what Raven means is sort of deviated from that, and I've created my own connection. So that's a really sort of involved and upgraded version of the explanation of my username. But you can see that it means more than simply just, a silly whatever. The laughs part of it is part of the philosophy, learning to laugh, helping other people laugh, that kind of thing. So there you go, folks. Some of you who had asked in the past, and I always said it was hard to explain. And then tonight, I just felt like I would try to share something with you. So I hope it was worth the however many minutes this video has been to sit and listen to me ramble. I guess I will talk to you all later.